Alright, so it should be popping up, guys. This is Evolution Trading, weekly review. It should be popping up here. Your salt shaker, what are you talking about? Let's see. Alright, so if you can hear me, we should be starting here soon. If you can hear me, we are on YouTube or Smashcast. So we're just gonna let some people pile in real quick. Give them a couple minutes, and then we'll kind of go over some stuff. Happy Father's Day to everyone. Alright, see some people still coming in on Smashcast. Alright, well, we're not starting yet, so give it a second. Alright, just a couple more. Alright, so alright, here we go. Wait, YouTube's got a black screen. YouTube's got a black screen. Does anyone else on YouTube have that problem? I'm looking at the YouTube right now on my screen, and it is showing live. It's showing the right screen. Is anyone else getting a black screen? Okay. Is anyone else getting a black screen on YouTube? Oh, okay. It's not working on the iPhone for some reason, Eric. There you go. Minister said you can switch to computer. On your computer, you still have a black screen? On your phone. I have no idea what salt shaker you guys are talking about. Yeah, you're probably on a delay if you just now are hearing that. You can. Yeah, YouTube is a little bit slower from what I found out, but then some people say that YouTube works better for them. Just try to find out which one is best for you. Alright, so we're going to start. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start looking at GALT, NIHD. Those are some of the questions that I've had come in through private message, and a couple others. If you all would like to discuss any other, just leave it in the main trading room so I could see it, and we will go over it. And we'll go look at new plays happening this week, as well as the plays from this previous week. Just loading up some different charts right now. Then we can go over them. I've been trying to do stuff on the website, and it's just been a hassle. And so I'm a little bit dysfunctioned at the moment. Alright. Let me see if I can't pull up another chart. Alright. I'll just pull up the simple, just the generic Thinkorswim one again. Let's see. Here we go. Actually, that's not going to work with these up here. Alright, so here we go. We're going to kind of look at GALT first. G-A-L-T. And I hope everyone had a great weekend. Looking forward to the weekend ahead. We have a lot of new people coming in and whatnot. Are the charts showing? Okay, I see what it is. There we go. Alright, so you can see on Galt what happened here on the 5-minute. You had this big dip at the bell, and then you have the trend line that we set before. So as you can see, it definitely broke below trend. So this is a bearish sign from where it was. Let's see. Obviously, if you are in it, you cannot get out of it until Monday. So let's see. Let me try to get this pulled up. I don't know what the deal is with my computer today. It is just not acting right. I don't know what the heck to do. It's been doing this all day too. I don't know. Alright. Try this again. Oh my gosh. Well, there goes that idea. Hold on. Alright, just trying to get this up. So we had a pretty messed up week this week. Monday and Tuesday. I think Monday was pretty good. Tuesday and Wednesday kind of shot off a little bit. Thursday afternoon, it ended up opening up, and Thursday afternoon ended up being great, and Friday ended up being even better, I believe, with plays like ADMP, HOS, and some of the others. Just trying to fill in time while I'm fixing this issue. Alright, let's look. So one of the plays that we're going to be looking for to ADMP and Eric, as that is. So on GALT, I can't really pull it up, but let me go ahead and show you real quick. If you are in Galt, you probably do want to exit if it shows any kind of bearish sign opening up Monday. That's definitely one you'd want to get out of with it breaking below that line. But with that said, if it opens up with you know, it pushing back above it, then you might have a good spring setting you up, because it had some strange activity at the end of the day. Nothing that I could see anything besides, you know, people not holding over the weekend. Nothing that I found out any reason for it. But you did have a big sell-off at the end of the day into after hours. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up. Does anyone have any news out about Galt? Heard anything? All right, we'll check out GRNT WFM. Yep, WFM. That was good. I couldn't find anything either. That's why I was asking. I couldn't find anything that would cause anything like that. Yeah, it is. That ZX upgrade was old news. So nothing I see. And you know, you've had those before, but they've been aligned with, you can see, being a, you know, they've been higher lows right here. So they've been there before, those drops, but they've never been like this, into this uptrend and then trending lower than the previous lows. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I'd like to see Monday to see if it kind of corrects and comes back up, and maybe it's an opportunity for a good dip buy, because the chart has been bullish this entire time. From, you can see back here in November where it mirrored right here. Oh, you can't see because the chart's all messed up. There we go. Try to fix that again. Oh yeah, the charts are all jacked up. All right. So yeah, that's definitely something that I would get out if it stays above there. I think you should get a correction up to around 240. In my personal opinion, just how the stock has been going. It's been going good. It's had these healthy dips before, and it's always kind of came back up and corrected itself into its bullish movement. This obviously would be bad if it kept on to this trend, but it might actually turn out to be a good buying opportunity. You can see where I guess it dropped all the way down to 220 and kind of came back up and sat around there and ended up at 226. I would believe to see a 235 plus correction come Monday. It's just odd to have that sell-off right before. I mean, you always do see those sell-offs going into Friday, but usually nothing that drastic on a stock like this. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on that I would definitely put near the top. Let's look at NC. Okay, let's go up a little bit and then we'll go up. We'll start out from the top. All right, let's see. We have first TXMD. TXMD was a nice play. So we had Friday just keep busting down. It just kept popping up on the scanner. Just kept getting higher and higher, new highs of days. Like every 5 cents or so, it would pop up. Let's see what we have. So yeah, you can see on the daily where it's kind of gone into a reversal after that mid-April gap down. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that was 2 months ago. I believe that had something to do with one of their phase results being bad news. I don't believe it was a earnings report. Let's look. That made it drop back in April. But we can always look. Alright, and look at some of their financials as well. Yeah, it's been super bearish on the 1 year, 6 month, 3 month. It's just now coming up from this hike and a little bit from this past month. You can see that raise up from April. back in May, you had it downgraded to perform. Rating reiterated May 24th. Nothing since then. Let's see. Stock's way below the 52 week. All right, and check out the news. Yeah, if you look at Thursday, there was no volume in TXMD, and then you have over 4 times average volume on Friday. That's just crazy because it's I guess it's off of the meeting and the FDA announcement that's coming up soon. Everybody's seeming pretty bullish on it. The biomedical. You have analysts setting the price at $18.40. I usually don't ever go off any analyst price. They're rarely ever correct. Even if you check them out long, they're rarely ever correct. But okay, so this is what we have. We have the lows set here. And on the 8th of May, you can see that it is definitely started its reversal trend. It's definitely on line with the news that's coming up. I can't get these lines to work on this thing because they won't capture them for some reason. So disregard that one that just popped up there. But you can see you have the push up, 425 broke up. You have without the catalyst, it's probably going to shoot out. You can see on the 5-day it just started up going into pre-market to after hours. Just had a little bit of increased volume here, a lot higher than Thursday. Thursday's volume was horrible. 4 times average on Friday. You can see right here at market close, that's when volume just completely, you can't see obviously the volume and the price spike, but you can see where it started down here and it started rising up. I mentioned it with the big on kill me, my loss, your game. Eric, I don't know what you're talking about. You'll be all right. Calm down. All right, so on TXMD, you see it kind of flatten out through the end of the day. Monday is going to be a big test. I would definitely, are you in TXMD or are you looking to hold on? Because you can see these prices are pretty much the high over the past month and a half from its previous big drop. You could probably see this stock reach up to probably up in the $6, but to keep this trend, you're probably going to have it come back down. It's going to be a little bit higher on the RSI, and you would want to probably catch a dip before entering. If you're in this stock looking for Monday, then you would probably want to sell at the bell unless you have some overwhelming average volume being over the 10% in the morning, with the buy volume being at least 8 of that, with a stock that's had this previous run the week before. All right, let's see, what do we have next? Yeah, I'm pretty sick myself. I've just been sick for, I don't know what the deal is. All right, let's see, I'm looking. Yeah, Galt was a longer play. It was. It was up to 6 weeks for sure. No, it wasn't next day at all. Alright, anyone getting sound? Just static screen. Minister, are you still getting static? In case charts are showing, they should not be showing anymore. GNRT, WFM. Yeah, WFM ended up spiking up. We all saw that Friday. Are you all wondering if this thing's gonna keep going? You can kind of see that it kind of rose up and got caught around 2 o'clock with this starting its little trend. The candlesticks aren't really defined because of how big this spread is from 30 to 42. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Alright, so did any of you get any entry prices into WFM on Friday? Did anyone buy in? Good evening, good evening. Did anyone buy in? Doesn't even look like anyone bought into this. Alright. I'll pull this up. So WFM, Whole Foods is definitely at pretty much the highest it's been in a long time. Obviously with that news coming out, can definitely take this stock soaring. $42. You already had what was that? 10% increase. You got in at 42.10. Good job, good job. Yeah, it was good to get in right after the buy. Are you holding over the weekend? Let me type this in. I don't shop at Whole Foods. We don't even have one where I live. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have got in and held it over the weekend. I know everyone's bullish on this. And well, they should be. You can see it kind of rose up to the end of day. You can see the end of day sell off here from 2 o'clock on. Yeah, Whole Foods is always getting sued. So, I mean, this is just not one that I'd get into if I was looking into one to long myself. But I could definitely see people playing it. I just couldn't play it above 40 myself. I mean, we don't even have a Whole Foods here. And a lot of people, I don't even know if they have a Whole Foods. I could just see it. Besides the big news that's coming out, that's probably going to generate some revenue for a little bit. I just don't see it continuously growing more than other stocks that are out there, that's for sure. Exactly. Does anyone here go to Whole Foods? Valid point, Porter. Valid point. Well, you would, Eric. I mean, we kind of get that. Is it really popular? I see. Down south, I like clean food. What is it? Is it all organic food? Busty, you in Chicago. Stream on. All right, let's all look at Blue's prize stock, AVIR. He is super bullish on this one. Let's see what he sees. I think AVIR is going to be Blue's stock, how CYTR was Busty's stock. I think this is going to turn into that. Oh no. Alright, so on AVIR. Okay, looks like a couple of you all have it. Good. Definitely looks to be on a reversal. You can see down here. You have support showing up around 43. It is now up 11 cents on the. Oops, I've got the 1 minute up here. Sorry about that. Alright, so you can see on the past 3 days it's done nothing but trend up with around, you have your support 3 days around 49. It definitely has higher highs, has match lows on the 2 of the 3 days prior to Friday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can see it trend up with higher lows and higher highs. And then you have that sell-off again for this stock as well as Whole Foods at 2 o'clock from the Friday afternoon sell-off. And it was a sell-off all the way down to 51. Am I reading that right? Let's see. Or is that just no volume? Let's see. I've got 54 here. Is it at 51 or 54? Pull it up. Last minute, no volume to make it at 51. Is that what it was? Yeah, okay, I've got it at 53.99. Ton of buy volume coming in around the 9th. Let's see if I can pull up this other chart for you all. I'll just do that for now. Alright, so this is AVIR. All right, so this is 5 minute on the 5-day. You can see pretty bullish. You've got a lot of sell coming in Thursday towards after hours. Had the same thing kind of Friday after hours. This is right before after hours actually on Thursday. You have Monday pretty much staying the same. Let's see. All right. Stock did pretty good. I mean, obviously until after hours, where you can see on this dip right here, the volume was pretty much low. Nothing much to it. What made it go to 51, I believe you said, was pretty much last buys. Let me pull that up. Overall, though, on the daily, the stock does look very bullish. Now, you have your low here, higher low here, higher low, oops, higher low here, higher low here, higher low here. Let's see, 48.58, higher low here, higher low here, and higher low here. Completely bullish over the past week or so. Like to see what it opens up on Monday. You might be able to get a good price. Like he's saying that the sell volume was probably a couple of orders at the end of the day. Would have to double check that. Let's see. 51 on E-Trade. Last minute it was me, no lie. Are you in the stock or no? You're not in the stock? Oh, if you can see my chart, this is just let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Oops. Okay, if you can see right here, this will kind of these candlesticks right here help you out, kind of see it, kind of elongate. If you're looking at the if you're looking at the chart right now, these are the type of candles I'm using just right now. I don't know if you can see the chart, but they just they kind of elongate the candles so you can kind of see a better move of direction on some of the more low volume stocks or whatnot, where candles aren't so proficient. So it kind of helps it out, a little hike and ashy. So you can, if you got Thinkorswim, you can go in there. This is just the default chart with that on there. So you just go here and then just put that on here. I just have the default chart loaded up and then just changed them so you all could see that. Alright, so, and put the background grid in the blue so you could see the price points or whatnot a little bit better. That's all I did to it. Alright. No, but I definitely like AVIR, especially if it opens up, if you can get it above that mark. It's definitely been bullish. I don't know though. I mean, if Brad's, definitely the one who brought it down, then it could definitely have a chance at getting a cheaper price. Obviously, you'd want to buy around support. You don't want to buy in that dead zone. You do not want to buy, unless you're going to have like a momentum swing and get a quick scalp off of it. You do not want to buy in the dead zone, that's for sure. With it getting a little bit of dip of it, sure. I mean, over the past 7 days or so, it's completely had its higher lows, and then after its top high right here, you have higher highs throughout. So you could definitely get a spike up coming up Monday. I could definitely see it doing that. With the kind of sell-off after hours, you're gonna have it, off of a lot of people's eyes or whatnot. But the technicals in it are definitely bullish. That's definitely one to look into for sure. This is another one that I'm looking into for everyone to look at. It's Tiberius. It's the Heiken Ashi. Anyways, everyone should look at AKTX. So this one ran all the way to $21. So what it did is it ended up, I believe they ended up, one of their, maybe not CEO, but one of their board directors ended up coming out and saying that the phase 2 results were more bullish than they were better than they were, and it ended up, been proven to be wrong, and the stock was at around $7, I believe, or so, before the huge spike up to 21, 22 bucks, and then after the news came out that they were pretty much lying and lied about their phase 2 results, I believe it was, they ended up dropping all the way down. Let me see if I can't pull up a longer day on here so you can see it. Okay, yeah, so here it is. The high was 23. Before that, yep, here it is. It was around 750, 686. So what happened was the news, I mean, they were completely bullish. Everything was looking good about it. They were coming out with PR about, I believe it was their phase 2 news. But they completely lied about it is what it was. You had this bullish run up all the way through right here. I mean, nothing but pure money here. Then you had a drop, and then this was their earnings reports right here. This was their pre-ER Momo, I remember, which gave you that second run to your higher high. The problem with this one is obviously they lied, and so you had nothing but selling. A lot of people thought that the stock would go back to where it was before all the lying and whatnot, since the results were definitely lied about, but they shouldn't have been, lower than what it was. But then the CEO resigned, I believe, 3 weeks ago, and now you have your low right here, and it has not hit below that low. The low is exactly around 4, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, exactly $4. Exactly $4 was the low here. Then you've had it done with nothing but, I wouldn't say nothing but buy volume because that's not the entire chart. Alright, so let's go ahead and look. So here you have your low around 411, and then it's had nothing but a run up since 478. So you can see on Friday it was completely bullish. It has not had a run like this since before the phase 2 news came out. So this could definitely be the start of a reversal. I would definitely look Monday to see if it could get back up there. It could definitely get up into the 550s, and it could even get back to where it previously was before the CEO resigned, because they're supposed to be taking a company in the new direction with the CEO resignation. They're supposed to be starting fresh after this big sell volume. You can see right here on your chart. You can see where the buy volume is starting to pick back up again. This is AKTH. AKTX, sorry. So this is one that I would definitely keep an eye on into the coming weeks for pretty much all the reasons that I said. You can see that Friday it had a great day. And if it keeps this trend, it could definitely get all the way back up there. This would be the first day of the start of a reversal, and we'll kind of see this week if that trend follows. You definitely have your higher highs throughout the entire day, and you have your lower lows starting around midday, before midday lunch. You can see it kind of going up there into that. All right. See if I can't widen this sucker, because the level 2's not up right now. There we go. That should help out everyone. All right. All right. So let's look up. Let's see what we've got for HOS. Alright, so this is the reason for the surge. You have 34% surge after Marine Oil Field Services Company refinances existing $200 million senior secured revolving credit facility, securing $100 million in additional borrowing capacity through a new first lien delayed draw credit facility. By the close, the NASDAQ was down to 0.2%. The Dow rose 0.1%. P was little changed. All right, so as you can see, what it says is, it refinanced its senior secured revolving credit facility, and it pretty much got $100 million more to borrow, up to pretty much the capacity of $100 million. You can see it. What's kind of crazy is you can kind of see it start Thursday, before the release of the news. Like, you can definitely see something's going on here. I mean, if that's not, insider knowledge, I don't know what is right there. That's Thursday before close. And then you have, all through after hours, pretty much great. Let's see, 16. Yeah, so it came out on Friday. After hours Thursday, but it had that rise pretty much before after hours started. Alright, so O's, you've got bullish news coming out that they definitely have. You've got pretty much the first volume spike pretty much here Thursday before close. Then after hours was obviously good. Pre-market was good. You have the highest volume spike here at the start of the day, and then you can see around 115 a lot of the stocks turned up Friday. That's where a lot of us made a lot of money. It was around 115 Central Time, 215 Eastern. That's when a lot of the stocks started heading to bullish formation. If you looked over the NASDAQ stocks, you would see that a lot of stocks ended up doing that. Actually, it was kind of a weird occurrence, an unusual occurrence where you saw a lot of stocks, which you'll see that sometimes around the same time. They'll all tend to turn up, but then you can see where it's starting to pick up this volume. You can see right at the close right here into after hours. You can obviously see this is going up. I mean, you don't need any lines to show that or whatnot. But with that said, it's definitely good to see what kind of Monday will bring. It's definitely showing that the stock will continue to rise. Even bringing, you can kind of see where it had that post-lunch resistance right here at 275. That's going to be a big point of resistance come Monday. If you see the break of 275, obviously you should enter. You should have a sell point of around 293. You can see that being the next resistance point to $3, probably around 292 to 298. If volume keeps pushing up to break that $3 wall, then you should probably put your next point at around 309 to 319, somewhere in that area. So you should definitely, and if you're looking to get into it long, then you're definitely going to want to keep above this 250 support mark. So you can see right here on the chart, you can see it's at around 251. You have your low right here at 250. You might be able to get a 2%. I wouldn't do any more than a 2% spring on 250, 251. So you would do 2% of 250, and you would count that as possibly being your double bottom, in this case, triple bottom support for a possible end up surge into this channel that you have forming here. So with that said, that's exactly what I see there. You would definitely want to, oops, did that wrong. So you would definitely want to look Monday to see those areas right there. You got your 250 to 275. You're definitely going to want to place 250 with a break of 275. Look to get around 292 to 298. You have the interval coming up right above the ended up high of the day around 293. You have your interval, usually stacking walls on the level 2 around $3. Around those dollar intervals, that's usually where the big walls usually stand, those 50-cent dollar increments on these lower penny stocks. So that's definitely where you'd want to look to go out. AKTX is really interesting, actually. I mean, I've been waiting it. I loved it. I scalped it. I played it. I even played it long on my lower account, my Robinhood account, all the way up through its run up to $21 or so. And then everyone was expecting, there was nothing but bullish news coming out about it. There was nothing but chatter everywhere that everything was bullish. So the pre-ER momentum on those type of stocks are the best. But obviously it was pretty much a scam, and that's definitely something that you should, which the CEO resigned, so that is definitely a good stock to look into for a possible reversal. AVIR has started that type of reversal swing as well. AVIR, it definitely is looking with some good technicals on it. That's definitely one to look in as well. As Brad was saying, that's one that he likes. You can see on the daily that it has started to turn up since around June the 4th to 5th from its lows around the first or second. Usually, I think around Friday on the 2nd was around its lows first on Thursday to Friday. All right, so let's look at a couple others. And then, guys, I'm going to be doing some stuff to the website. I can't stay on as long as I would like to tonight. But I definitely want to have a really good day tomorrow. I'm really excited about what's to come. You all are what's making this possible. I'll stay on and I'll always be here for any questions or anything like that. let's go ahead and look at a couple other plays that we have coming into the week. What I want to pull up, as you know, ADMP was one of the huge runners after its halt with the FDA news this weekend. What we did last Sunday is I pulled up the website that I told you all you should definitely keep an eye on. These stocks are definitely big runners and pre-momentum runners. They have, a lot of them move. This is where I get a lot of plays from, because you definitely want to know your PDUFA calendar. You definitely want to know when the phase 3, phase 1, results are coming out, meetings, anything biopharm. If you're into penny stocks, like a lot of people are in this chat, this is where you can find a lot of their press releases, conference calls, earnings reports, stuff like that. So it's definitely something to look into. For instance, NEOS, I believe I think I saw that one moving Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Let's bring it up real quick. Alright, so yeah. Wow. Yeah, I remember this one Friday. So you can see right here, let's see, I'm scrolling through. And just to point out that thing about the Whole Foods, we don't have any down here or anything, but what's good is Amazon reaches out pretty much to everyone through their Amazon Prime and everything that they do there. They really reach out to everyone, even in the communities like this. And I know that they're going to start doing like shipping groceries and stuff like that. And Whole Foods is all that healthy, organic. So for places like this that we don't have it, I could definitely see Amazon looking into something like that. Usually anything that Amazon puts its hands on ends up rising. Whole Foods, I'm not getting into it personally, but do I believe it is a good investment long term? I don't know if it's going to dip from 42 or not. It looks like it might hover around and definitely might rise in the future. Amazon definitely, whenever it touches anything, is involved with anything. Amazon is going to probably make that stock go to new highs that it's already touching. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Amazon is crazy. They've got the drone testing going on. Their Amazon Prime, you get free shipping. They've got their TV stuff going on. They're buying Whole Foods Market. So yeah. So definitely, bullish. That's like, pretty much, asking stuff like, do you think Apple's going to go up? Obviously, long term, yes, I believe Apple's going to go up. Do I believe, Amazon's going to go up? Yes, over the long term, for sure. The same kind of thing with Whole Foods. We don't have one, but with Amazon involved, I think the company's going to go to new heights that it's never been before. That's for sure. But okay, let's go ahead and move on to NEOS. So this is one you can see if you're looking at my screen. You can see Friday. Look at this chart, completely beautiful. You have buy volume bulling up. Right here, you see the buy volume doesn't outweigh these two sell volume, or three. Sell volume, and then you just have a dip of volume here after hours, because that's after hours, obviously, but you're still going to have 10% of the day, it looks like, in some areas. But you did have a sell-off. This is normal for Friday. So right here, what you have is consolidation, and it keeps the continued rise still going up. As you can see, the rise never slowed, but you have all this buy volume here paired with the sell volume. It's good consolidation because this is an obvious sell-off at the end of the day that happens at a lot of places. And this also is a sell-off. You have some sell volume coming in, not only because you have these little healthy dips right here, slowing from pretty much this is a moving tank of a stock, and it kind of even out around this area. You can see same lows, pretty much same highs in this little channel right here. So it had its little stop moments, but pretty much this is pure momentum going straight into the close of the day. The reason for that is I believe tomorrow they have phase news coming out or something. This is another one of those stocks that was, let me go ahead and double check real quick. It's another one of those stocks that was on that website. Let me see if I cannot pull it up for you. NEOS, they have the HDAC. They have the drug that is being tested on mouse and human trials, I believe. Let's see. HDAC1 is their drug and their antibody. Let's see. Antibody that you can actually buy. Wow. But yeah, I believe they're coming out with some news tomorrow actually in here. So they also have a couple other drugs that are, let me see, they've got one approved in January 27th. Okay, so you got CRL issued November 2015. PDUFA date is June 19th. Nice. So this is one of those that you should look up. And also, I don't know if you remember Halo, HALO. That one, PDUFA is June 26th. PTLA, that was a previous mover for a high price stock, as well as NVS. Those, let's see. NVS can be anytime in a 6-month review, no date given. So September 29th, 2007. The committee is July 12th, so that's going to be in the next 3 weeks or so. But you have PTLA, phase 3 data released March 2016, did not meet the endpoint, but you have the PDUFA date under review June 24th, and Halo has the PDUFA June 26th. So those are two that you should definitely keep an eye on, as well as NEOS. NEOS, like I told you, if you have listened to me talk before on these things, pre-ER, pre-PR, which is press release, earnings report momentum is, I'll pull up that website, Bowlegged, is my favorite type of plays. Alright, so let me go ahead and pull up that website for you, Bowlegged, so you can see it. It's biofarmcatalyst.com, I believe. Let's see. Let me go ahead and pull it up on the screen so you can. All right. Let's see if I can't pull it up. It should be okay. All right, so here goes the drug information, obviously. This is on any OUS. This is their calendar. You've got any OS here. You've got Halo, like I was saying, PTLA. So those should be looked for this week, going into next week. That goes hand in hand with ADMP. ADMP was one of the ones on here that you should watch for pre-momentum. and so is NEOS, and both of those skyrocketed Friday. So I mean, that's pretty cool that this is a good place to find plays at. That's for sure. If you want to get in them early, if you have extra capital, you have a bigger account where you can play stocks and you can also get into stocks. Just to have your money sit there, pretty much. Not saying hold through any kind of release dates, hold through any kind of anything like that to take that kind of risk, but it definitely is, good to keep those because you do have a lot of momentum rising off of the expected news. So in that case, obviously, I know you saw STML. I don't know if you did or not, saw it blowing up on the scanner Friday, but this was another one of those momentum stocks going in. You can see that their phase 2 was completed in March, and then they have patients enrolled in stage 1 and 2 due the update coming on the 23rd, with top line from stage 3 due in the second quarter of this year. So that's pretty cool. So, that went up 8% for an $8 stock, and, that's not too shabby at all. You have AGIO, phase 2, first data released June 2016. The updated is coming June 24th. You have 2.5% on a $51 stock. Again, not bad at all, especially with that coming up. That's going to be around Friday, I believe. And then some of these others you can see, like I was talking about Halo. I went over this one last time and told you a couple ones to keep an eye on. I said ADMP and I completely forgot about it come Friday. But definitely keep an eye on ACHN. This one is coming out with some interim data, it seems. There was a couple others. BTX, I know we went over this one. A couple people were holding this one. This was a longer hold for those that were holding this one. This was a long play that a couple people got into. I believe they exited early as well. But you can see you have the news coming up on the 30th. Kara is another one that I know. I believe Janine is playing. I was holding for a long as well. You have two things coming out actually. Their phase 2B trial and their phase 3 update coming out. It looks like data is due coming for Kara. And a couple other of these. Obviously you got CYTR. We all know about that stock. That's as well on the 30th. You have a bunch coming out on the 30th. I know you all remember GTXI. I believe this one ran over 150% or something like that. Had a crazy run this past week and a half or so. Another one that was popping up actually Friday was MTNB that a lot of people have been asking about. So you can really find a lot of plays coming in here. PBYI, this one had a huge run about 3 weeks ago, I believe. RXII, this has been on a couple watch lists, as well as XBIT that you all have been, a lot of people have been talking about. This one had that huge run, came back, is up now, coming up from a reversal. I believe it was Rob, maybe not, in the chat room, that was pulling this one continuously up on Friday because it was coming up from a red to green, I believe on Thursday as well as Friday, into a nice looking run. So you can see on XBIT the data will be available soon. This is when it's expected. Some of these plays you have to understand, some of these are on or about this date, so that doesn't mean that this date is the date that it exactly will be out. You have to read into the fine print. Some will be a committee like this one on this date. This one will be on July 7th. But some of these are just expected. Some of these, let's see if it says it. Okay, exactly. The catalyst date is the latest expected date for the catalyst to occur. For example, if the catalyst date is 12/31, the event is expected to occur by 12/31. That does not necessarily mean the catalyst will occur on this date. In most cases, it will occur before. So that's why you get a lot of momentum way before these. So that's all these up coming up that say the 30th. These are definite ones you should definitely put on your watch list. And that website is, if you cannot see it on my screen, it is www.biofarmcatalyst.com. You go to calendars and you go to FDA calendars. All right. Oh yeah, PSDV. I'm out. I wonder what the point will be for Neos if they get approved. See, that's the thing about playing a lot of these. Hold on, let me welcome someone into the chat. That's a lot about playing these ones with such huge momentum into the. Oops, sorry, wrong chat. Playing it up into the actual news being released. A lot of times the news won't rise as much as it would. The momentum sometimes is actually the adjusted price. I've seen that happen a couple times. I've said this before. But it should definitely, rise up a little bit more, with good news. But if the good news is kind of expected around, 15%, 20%, then it won't raise that much because, the stock has already adjusted that price into the actual news being released. Should probably run around 6% or so. But you always will. The good thing about news, a lot of people, you're supposed to sell the news or whatnot. A lot of people sell the news or whatnot, and that is a good thing to do. For ADMP with that FDA news, that was good to get in. It ended up running because the news was so big. EpiPens are really a big deal. Someone said in chat that it was going to be a $15 point, and I was thinking, hell no. I still believe that, but to be honest, I thought hell no when he said $7 point, but it's looking like it might come up on there. So that's pretty cool. The thing with ADMP is that stock didn't have much move to it that day, I believe. It was actually after the news, so it didn't have much adjusted news. I believe in the weeks following up, if you look at the daily chart on ADMP, you can actually see that it did have some come up prior to the news if you were holding it about a week before. But besides that, I need to get offline. It's been about an hour and a half. Got to do some things. Never got everything done on the website like I wanted to. I'm still having a little bit of trouble with some small issues. PSDV. We saw that one kind of taking, that reversal trend, looking pretty good. You're looking to, thanks Busty. You're looking into a IMRN IPO. I don't know if any of you all play IPOs. I used to do some IPO plays. If you're going to do IPOs, if you're looking into playing IPOs, you can always, you go to Google right here. I don't know if you can see on my screen. You just type in IPO. What was the website they always used to do it? Just NASDAQ, and it should pull up their IPOs coming out soon. Let's see. And you can always, right here, have your IPOs set up where you can look into them. It has their latest IPO price coming out, and you have the ones coming up as well. The recently filed. You have ones that have been withdrawn. You can all see this on my screen. So if you're looking at any of these, he was asking about IMRN. I don't know anything about it, to be honest. I haven't been doing many IPOs myself lately. I used to mess with them probably about a year ago. I used to do a lot of IPOs. I don't know much about it. It's a biopharm company with proprietary. Oh my gosh, which they have pretty much their own technology. Like, for some reason, I can't even get out this word. They have their own technology, pretty much copyrighted technology that no one else can use. Proprietary. For some reason, that couldn't come off my tongue. Do you have a particular strategy for when an IPO is coming out? Yeah, for sure. Was it luck or you had a strategy to generate? So on IPOs, you kind of see what the bid is gonna be stacked up. Yeah, I saw it on there, but I just don't know anything about the company. But and it was rising. So on those on IPOs, you will have a lot that will completely rail up after the bid has been placed pretty much on it to the stock's release price, and you can catch a killer run scalp. It's kind of like a momentum run, but on an IPO. But then you have a lot of ones that will completely drop from the price starting out. So what I would do is I would pretty much wait till after it would come out, probably scalp usually, because most IPOs around there usually reach around $8 to $12, $14, and most of the stocks aren't worth that at all. So that was a problem for me there. I actually did better shorting those than I did buying them. But the ones that I would run for profit on the bullish side, I would wait for to see kind of what it would release at, look at the volume. You don't have any indicators. You have to pretty much research the company and stuff like that. And you have to do a lot of digging, pretty much. And it's all off of, projections and reports and stuff, projected, and you're pretty much buying into the company's product, 100%, and how it will adapt into the market and the economy. So in those cases, you just got to, it's definitely not luck because you're, researching it before you do it. Obviously, if you're just gonna buy into blindly because you're like, oh, it's a biofarm and it's an IPO, then yeah, that's definitely luck if it ends up rising for you. But biofarm IPOs can have a lot of hype behind them. Because everybody wants to get in biofarm to have the next cure of some uncurable disease at the moment. So a lot of those do rise. You'll see a lot of them get to phase 3 and then pretty much fall out or end up getting sued because it has some kind of crazy side effects in the long term. But definitely like playing them in between all those areas. That is for sure. Even longing on a lot of them for real, for a while. But last thing I wanted to go over before I get offline, I wanted to show you. So let's pull up any charts. Let's say. So I said I would go over this for Loki and a couple others. I know Ted was talking about candlesticks. So let's just pull up. I don't know, any old stock. Let's pull up, actually, I also wanted to look at one that was, let's pull up GLMD. This one was completely bullish. This was one that I was saying long, as well as the other one wasn't as completely bullish as this one was. The other one was WKHS. But I would say on WKHS, I do play that one. I guess you would say long in a sense, because I do play that one with bottom support, newly support swings. So I do swing that one more than I do scalp it. WKS has done me good, but GLMD has been definitely great. As you can see on the chart, this is 5-day. Each one of these so I'm going to go over candlesticks real quick. So this is the 5-day chart. Each one of these candlesticks, if you already know about this, then you don't need to tune in, or you can just have a little refresher. All right, so this is the 5-day chart. Each one of these you can see where I did a trend line before here. I guess I was talking about this one Friday, how much I loved it. This was probably where the stock was well, this was actually 5 days ago. This was actually Wednesday, so I guess I was talking about it Wednesday. I was drawing a trend line. You can actually see where the stock ended up continuing going from when I was talking about it. Look at that. Isn't that something? So if you caught that, good job. If not, there's always Monday through next Friday. But you have that one dip through here. So anyways, let me go ahead and remove these real quick. Alright, so just going over candlesticks. So this is the 5-day 15-minute. This is 5 days worth of action with 15-minute, each one of these candlesticks representing 15 minutes of action. So I am going to pull up, as you can see, this will be one day on my screen, this will be another day, this will be another day, this will be another day, this will be another day. So let me just pull up 2 days of price action. So this will be Monday right here, this will be Tuesday in this area. Let me just pull up, for instance, Wednesday. So this will be Wednesday to here, and this will be Thursday, where you have your dotted line coming down. So this is just Wednesday and Thursday's price action. Each one of these candlesticks represents 15 minutes of action. You have your one day here, your second day here. Alright, so people ask, what's the difference in green candles, red candles? Obviously, you know that one's going up, one's going down. But what is all with this, these boxes, these pluses, what are these dojis, stuff like that. So for instance, we'll just take, we'll take this candle right here. Actually, yeah, let's take this candle right here. So you have this candle, you can see that it is boxed in to right here, and then it has this, you can see this line going through it all the way up to right here. So you have this line extending all the way up to 554, and you have the bottom filled in all the way to 522. So what that is this candle opened on this 15 minutes worth of price action, this candle opened at 522. You can see that it got all the way up to 554 in this 15 minutes. This is all 15 minutes action. So this is where it started, that 15 minutes. If you had a 15-minute clock timer and you were to start it, this is where that started. You can see this is where it got to in that whole 15 minutes, but you can see right here, this is where it closed. The green candles obviously moved down to up. But you can see this is where it closed that 15 minutes. If you were to stop that 15-minute timer, this price right here, 1540, 1539 right here where my clicker is, that is where this is where this chart stopped on that alarm clock, or ticker we'll say. So then right here as well, you have the green candles moving down to up. So you have, if we were to start another 15, this goes on with 5-minute candles, 1-minute candles, and so on. Let's see. Oh, no one's even looking at my chart. Wow, I feel pretty dumb about that. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Well, then, now I gotta go back over that. Alright, so, thank you, Jay Motivator. I wasn't looking in the chat, I was just going on and on. Alright, so let me go ahead and go over that one more time again. Wow, that's going to make for a bad recording for everyone else. And alright, so let me go ahead and go back into the chart. As you can see, I pretty much said it all. Going over these candlesticks, let me go ahead and zoom out real quick. You have GLMD, you can see where I made this mark coming up Wednesday when I was talking about it. And it ended up keeping that trend line all the way up. This stock has been 1000% bullish over the past 5 days. You have this is a 5-day chart, 15-minute. Each one of these candlesticks is 15 minutes. Each one of these dotted lines showing through is 1 day's worth of action. So you have 1 day, you have 2 days to that candlestick, you have 3 days to that, 4 days to that, 5 days to the end. All right. Anyway, so we're just going to go ahead, like I was doing earlier, we're going to go ahead when it wasn't on the screen. 2 days of price action. We're just going to go ahead and take Wednesday right here, and we're going to go ahead and take Thursday. So now this is now 2 days worth of action with 15-minute candles. You can see right here up in the top right, you have 15-minute candles. These candles are set on Heiken Ashi. You would want to keep the regular candles if this is what you are used to. As you can see, you have these spaces right here in your regular candle chart, usually because of volume or not connected. If you like these kind of candles, right here, the Heiken Ashes, you just go down. Where did I go? Oh, you just go down, you go to chart type, and you can actually extend it with this candle pattern. So you go right here, you click that, you can actually see the candle extending throughout. It actually helps out a lot, you know, read charts easier, just to verify, you know, to pretty much see stuff better. And it definitely helps out if you are starting out. So this is why I went ahead and did this. I also made, like I said earlier, the grid this teal color so you can actually see the points. You have 10-cent intervals right here on the right. You have your volume down here. You have your time. You can see that in your day. Alright, so anyways, let me go ahead and restart. So we're going to take this candle right here. So you can see it's starting to open at 522. This is where if you were to take I'm going over it again, but if you were to take, let's say, a stopwatch and you had 15 minutes and you started it, this is exactly where this candle started right here, 1522. Now during that 15 minutes, this candle, wherever it went, say up to here, 554, that's the highest that it got in that entire 15 minutes, and this is where it closed. So from looking at this candle right here started right here in that 15 minutes, this 522 area, closed at 539, but its highest it got to was 554. So if you're reading this chart, that 15 minutes it closed right here, this is where it closed. Then you have, let's say, the next 15 minutes you have right here, you have your 531, open and close. Green candles move down to up. So you read the price action from starting here on that 15 minutes to up. The same thing goes if this was on the daily chart. The daily chart, when we talk about the daily chart, it's a longer interval chart going over as each candlestick represents a day. So you have your day candle, which opens at that point, closes at that point. So when we say we are looking at the daily chart, we are looking at a long-term chart showing candlestick intervals of a day. That also goes with when I'm saying intraday or typing intraday, that just means during that day. That means same day. Swing means swinging longer than pretty much trading within the same day, meaning intraday. So swing, you know, if I say swing, 1 day swing, that's just swinging, that's just holding the stock to the next day. 2 week swing, that's just holding the stock for 2 weeks, you know, possibly. And sometimes I actually do say swinging it into after hours. That's not even swinging it entire day. I just say that. If I say Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, that's just complete mirrored stock image. So that's just some terms that I use. Some other traders don't use those terms. Pretty much when you've been trading, you kind of come up with your own terms. So just kind of going over those real quick. But just to get back to candles, you'll hear me say those terms throughout the time that I'm on the voice and stream. So let's go ahead and take this candle for instance. You have your first red candle, we'll say right here. So on red candles, they actually open and close going down. So instead of this candle that we went over starting at 522 on that 15 minutes and closing at 539 with reaching this high, in between that 15-minute period, you're going to have the same exact thing with this candle right here, except it opens at the top and closes at the bottom. So red, you know, down, green, up. So it's just the candle in reverse. So right here you have this candle, this 15 minutes starting at 548. You have it going to 546. This is where it opened in the 15 minutes, 548, 546, but its range was all the way to 550 and to 542. Now this is just where the top and bottom, this is just where it got in that 15 minutes. But you can see it actually opened at the start of that 15 minutes of that ticker, and this is where it ended at this. So you can see over the 15 minutes it only moved 2 cents, you know, from the open and close of that 15 minutes. But in that entire 15 minutes, it had a lot bigger range than the actual close, the start and close of it. So for instance, this red candle right here, you can see with this chart moving up right here, you can see the green coming up, just bullish, 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 you know, going up, straight up, straight up. And then you can see this red candle. So it started up here. So this candle was moving up. And yes, it did go all the way up here.
but since the candle ended up closing, lower from where it started, this is where it started. It reached all the way up here. It came down here. So this is where the candle starts. So you can see right here, this would have been a bullish day. This would have been a bullish candle if this was the start, and let's say it closed right there, or even 1 cent over. That would have been a red candle. This would now have been a green candle, and then you still would have had your top point and your low point. So, but it's not. It's a red candle. So it opened. If you were to start that 15-minute timer, it's 584. That's where it started. It ended up going down because it's a red candle. It ended up closing at 576, the start of the 15 minutes and the end of the 15 minutes, 576. And then in between those 15 minutes, you can see what happened. Now, if you ever hear me talk about the bulls fighting the bears at the start of the bell, you always might hear me say that, I usually don't buy pre-market. I've pretty much learned my lesson. I've done really good buying pre-market and catching some of the biggest runners that you could possibly name or have heard of. But I have also lost big on the pre-market, and so I've kind of weighed my risks, and it's just not for me. If you have a lower account and you're trying to build up to get into that, and that's something that you feel comfortable with, sure, go for it. Who am I to say? But that's just not something that I do. It's not something I recommend. But if you have volume and other indicators, like as you can see with this one coming up, this is Wednesday right here, back here. This is Wednesday, and this is Thursday. So now you can see, if I zoom out, you can see right here, you have nothing but bullish. You have all this volume down here at the very bottom, just rising, steadily rising throughout the days. You can see it going up. Your volume's increasing pretty much start of days and everything. Then yeah, that's something that you could definitely hold on to a pre-market for. You have your push of volume coming up at each start of each day. You see right here, you have your push of volume. The previous day it wasn't as much because it's obviously starting its trend up, but still you have that push of volume. Then if you go back from when this stock wasn't really doing much, you do not have. And then right here as well, you have that push of volume stacking up. These are the times, when you have this trend and it's forming a trend and it has not broken a trend, these are the times that I will hold through pre-market. So that is just in those instances. So definitely keep an eye on this one Monday. You can see that, this is on pretty much the most bullish trend that you're going to find. It's going to be hard to sustain that, but it is definitely something to keep an eye on. You can see that it is you can see right here, you have a $7 resistance right here, and you have a $7 high right here resistance at $7, and you have it at 698, closing at 692. That could pass by the day. But okay, so I went over candles. If you see zoomed in, we'll just go over one real quick. You have we can go in, let's say we'll just do 5-minute time intervals. We'll take a day's action and we'll do the same thing. So this is 5-minute candles. So instead of the timer, let's say a stopwatch starting at 5 minutes, we're just doing, 15 minutes, we're actually doing 5 minutes. So your start of your 5 minutes, it opened at 6:32. It ended up closing at 6:49, but the candle reached, in that 5-minute time frame, reached all the way to 6:63. So anyways, I hope that was somewhat simplified. I'll try to get better at that, trying to simplify it as well as I can for some of the other stuffs that we go over here in the future. I hope you all had a great night. GLMD is the stock that I was talking about at the end. I hope you all have a great night. Happy Father's Day, and I wish you all the best. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's make some money. Good night.